Hi, I'm Kitty and welcome back to my channel. So first off, I'm just going to say hi to the kitty cat that's decided to join us. So today's video is I think it's 22 books that I'm excited to read next year. So I will admit I was inspired after watching Lisa from Lisa Does Life. I will tag her down, but I'm pretty sure most of you watch her anyway. So the first one I'm going to start with is The Dead Romantics. I bought this, I want to say the same time as The Whispering Dog, which will also feature in here, when I went to Waterstones. Now, I finished Heart of Iron and Soul of Stars, I want to say. I really enjoyed it. Now, this one is a little bit different because it's about a ghostwriter, and I think I'm going to love this because I've loved two of Ashley Poston's books now, and so this is the first one. Then the next one I'm looking forward to reading is The Fine Print. Now, I've not read anything by Lauren Asher, but it's a romantic, and most romantic books I tend to like. So I think the main character in this doesn't like the design or something. I can't remember. All I know is it's romance, so I'm looking forward to this one. And then we've got It Starts With Us, which is, we're going to pretend that I didn't nearly knock myself out with the book. It Starts With Us. I read It Ends With Us last year or the year before. Really enjoyed it. I will say trigger warnings for, not this one, but It Ends With Us, for abuse, physical abuse. Now this one, I think we're following Atlas, but I'm really excited to get to this one. So yeah, hoping I start the year off with this one, but we'll find out. Then one that I've had on my TBR since the beginning of the year and I really want to get to, and I'm tempted to say that if I don't read it by this time next year, it's just going to get on hold. But it's If This Gets Out by Sophie Gonzalez and Kale. I'm not even going to try and say the author, but there you go. They're the two authors. I believe it's about a boy band, and I think these two are not supposed to be together and they get together. I'm not sure. But again, looking forward to getting to this one. And then, I don't know if this is cheating if I've already read some, but considering I've not picked it up and I'm still 350, I want to read this. So, I think I'm going to put it on the book that I want to read. There's also a read along, so I hope I'm not going to put as much pressure on myself as I did last year and go, oh, well, I want to read 12 books, because that just didn't happen. So I'm going to say if I can read this plus books 2, I'll be really happy. So yeah, again, this is another one that I want to prioritise next year. Then we have The Flatshed. Now, the reason I want to read this one is recently, when I've been watching YouTube, because I don't watch much TV, apart from when I'm working, I've seen the trailer for the I think it's a series, and I really want to watch that, but I don't want to watch it till I've read the book. So I believe there's two main characters. I believe that they share this one bed. I think one has it from, like, say 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. and then the other one has it from there. So yeah, I really want to read this one. I've not read anything by Beth O'Leary either, so it'll be interesting to see what I think of this one. Then moving swiftly on to Ace of Spades. Now, I want to read this one because Teen gifted me this one for, I want to say, was it my birthday? Oh no, it doesn't. It doesn't have the gift note, but if you guys did want to read this, it has trigger warnings at the front of it, which is good. But yeah, I think I remember Cody reading this. I'm really enjoying it, but like I said, I want to read this one because it was a gift, and next year I want to prioritize gifted books, so this is one on that list. Then the next one I would like to read is part of a series, so I'm not gonna put the whole series on my TBR for next year. I will be quite happy if I finish Wild at Heart. So in book 1 we follow Callie? Yeah, Callie, as she basically figures something out. In the beginning of the book, I don't think this is a spoiler, but at the beginning of the book, she like loses her job, and then we find out something about her and her family, and basically the first book follows that journey. So I'm interested to see what this one is about. So yeah, that's the next one. So Wild at Heart. I also forgot to say that I really do like Kaya Tucker. I read, is it 10 Tiny Breaths? And I really love that series, so I really want to finish this one out. Hopefully next year, but this TBR is just going to be Wild at Heart. Then we've got Credence by Penelope Douglas. So I want to read this one because this one seems to be the one that has the most, I don't want to say hate, but it's the one that divides people. They either love it or hate it. Now, I've read a little bit of Birthday Girl, didn't get through all of it because I was doing a readathon at the time, so I didn't finish it for whatever reason. But Credence, I think, is a reverse harem, and I think the protagonist has lost her parents. Yeah, her parents. Yeah, her parents pass away. Not a spoiler, it's literally on the back. So yeah, I want to read this one because it's the one that's got the most. Anyway, I want to read this one because it sounds the most interesting as well. So that's that one. Then I'm showing the fourth one of this series because I just don't want to get up and get the other one from the next room. But it is the Pelennor series, which I've only ever heard one person read this series. So the first one, I can't even think of what the first one's called. Anyway, the second one is The Gift. I would be happy if I got to The Gift. I'm just showing you this because it's quite a nice cover. And I think someone's enjoyed reading it because the spine is quite cracked. But yeah, I really want to make my way through this series. I remember loving The Gift. It's basically about this young girl who gets rescued by this man, and they have to travel somewhere. So there's like a journey in it. Really enjoyed it. So I really want to finish the series because I have never finished it. I don't know how it ends. So realistically, this is only a 4-book series. So ideally, I would like to finish this off. But who knows? Depends what next year has in store. But hopefully, I will try to get to at least book 2. Then we've got The Inheritance Game. I've got the whole series, and I would like to again finish this series, but I'm gonna just put this book on about this one. But again, it was a gift from teen, so again, really want to read this. Then I want to try A Curse So Dark and Lonely. I don't know why I said I want to try. Right, so I have got a shelf. I think I've said in a vlog before now that I want to do a bookshelf tour, but at the moment, basically, I suffered massively with my mental health this year. So my flat is not the tidiest, so I want to make sure that things are put in their place before I do stuff. Now, I've got a shelf there with all my Bridget Camera books, and I've read, I want to say Letters to the Lost, the sequels to Letters to the Lost. So I've not tried any of the fantasy, but I know I will enjoy this because I like her contemporary. So I'm really hoping that I'll love this, but I think I will. And plus I like the shininess of it. So yeah, I really want to read this year. And then we got one that's I bought before any of the book boxes got this. I hadn't heard of it at all. Then I bought it and I've seen it everywhere. Now, Meg from 12 Books a Day recently, well, not recently, but she mentioned that she really enjoyed You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogle. And I really enjoyed that. And then I mentioned about this book, and Meg also said she really enjoyed this one. And so far, it seems like mine and Meg's taste is aligning quite a bit. So I want to try this. I did mention on one of the live sprints that I wasn't really getting into fantasy. I'd read a lot of contemporary, so she was a little bit worried that I wasn't going to like this, but I'm willing to give it a shot. I mean, it sounded really interesting. It said Delaney Myers Petrov is tired of being seen as fragile just because she's deaf. So when she's accepted into a prestigious program at Godboll University that trains students to slip between the parallel worlds, she's excited for the chance to prove herself. But the semester gets off to a rocky start when she has an awkward encounter with a prestigious upperclassman whom she has every intentions of keeping a distance from. So that, again, I remember why I picked this up. It was that line. So yeah, I really want to read this. Then moving on. So actually, again, I don't know why I've not picked up the first book for this. It must be in the other room. But I think it's Cryer's War. But Ironheart, I got for my birthday last year. Or was it this year? No, last year. Cheap. I think it was last year. And for my birthday, you guys spoiled me. And I got Ironheart. Again, because it's gifted, I really want to read both. So, but because it's a duology, I'm hoping that I'll read both. But again, let's see how well Kitty from 2023 does. Then we got The Nature of the Witches, which was inspired by Steph. She read it and really enjoyed it. Also, I love how pretty this book is. So again, I'm hoping to enjoy this. I think she controls elements or something. Sure, but anyway, I remember her Steph really enjoying it. So again, really want to read that one. Then was it last Christmas? Maybe it was a Christmas before. The next one I want to read is Under the Whispering Door. Now I read, what was it called? The House on the Cerulean Sea. I really enjoyed that one. It actually made me cry. I read it while I was working, and yeah, I love the found family aspect to it. So this one's a little bit different, and I'm a little bit scared of this one because everyone says that this one like breaks them. But I think it's one of them books where it breaks you, but in the best possible way. So again, really looking forward to this one. It says, when a reaper comes to collect Wallace from his own sparsely attended funeral, Wallace is outraged, but he begins to suspect she's right, and he is in fact dead. Then when Hugo, owner of the most popular tea shop, promises to help him cross over, Wallace reluctantly accepts the truth. Sounds quite interesting. So yeah, again, really want to read this. I, again, read TJ Klune. It must have been 2019? 2020? 2020, I think. Because I don't think my headspace was great anyway. So yeah, anyway, that was a complete tangent. Really want to read this one. Then we've got Goddess in the Machine, which was a book subscription box book. And I did lose interest in this, but when I was doing an unhaul, I read this one again and it does sound kind of interesting. So I want to give it a go before I straight up just unhaul it. So that's that one. And then, spoiler alert for my most anticipated books for next year. My first one I've not properly looked at like Goodreads to have a look, but the one that I know that I want to get is want to read is Deviant. Is it Deviant? Deviant, I think it's called. By Brandon Sanderson. So I've read Skyward. I want to at least get to be fair again, I would really love it if I could finish this series. I got Skyward in the Fairy Loot box, so I've got the nice pretty yellow sprayed edges. It was actually my favourite book that year. I hadn't done BookTube at that point, but I really, really loved it. I was quite shocked because I hadn't read the Brandon Sanderson one, and it will be actually interesting to see whether I still enjoy it as much as I did. I hope so, but either way, the Skyward one, even if I don't end up... See, I'm a bit worried about this one because I know some people they like this one, but then Cytonic they're not a fan of. And I've also got the short stories as well. But I really want to read this whole series, but I pull it off because I knew he's just a writing machine, isn't he? He writes loads of books a year. So yeah, I really want to at least get to Starsight, if not finish the whole series. But again, we'll see what happens there. We are down to the last 4. So as I was perusing my bookshelves, I was like, right, if I don't read this one is probably going to be on the unhaul pile. But this is Final Girls by Riley Sager. Now, I have had this for a while now. In fact, when did it come out? Oh, so it came out in 2017. I don't think I've had it that long. I think I might have got in 2018, 2019. So I've had it a few years. So I think if I don't read it next October, then it's got till this time next year. But if I haven't read it by then, it's definitely going. But I did read his other book, which was, I want to say The Turn of the Key. Bear with me a second. Okay, so I'm back. So it was it Lock Every Door? How have I already forgotten? I think it's Lock Every Door. Yeah, Lock Every Door. Turn of the Key is by Ruth Ware. Now, Lock Every Door, was one of my favourite books. So I really want to read this. I actually think I have more Riley Sager books. I have no idea where they are. I actually didn't see them while I was perusing my bookshelves. But yeah, I really hope that this one lives up to the hype. I mean, it says if you liked Gone Girl, you'll like this. I did enjoy Gone Girl. So yeah. Right, then the next one is Fire with Fire, which is also a book subscription box. It's got the yellow sprayed edges. I don't know much about this one. It just says on the back, I didn't choose you and you didn't choose me, but we have each other now, always. So it says, 2 sisters divided, they burn. So again, if I don't reach for this one by this time next year, I do think it's gonna go. I actually think it might be included in my These Books Will Self-Destruct. You guys haven't seen that one. Hopefully by the time this one goes up, then... But yeah, I really want to read this one. Hopefully I'll get to it. Then we got one that I'm nervous about because it's not usually a book I'd read, but I did read The Poppy War, The Dragon Republic. I still haven't finished the Burning God, mainly because I'm really scared I'm going to cry. So I've not picked it up. I did make a good chunk in it, but I might actually reread that series. So the one that I want to read is it Babel? Anyway, I'll just show you. But yeah, again, it's quite a long book. I don't know much about this. I think it's Dark Academia. I mean, it's very pretty, so I really hope I love it. So yeah, again, let's have a look. It just says an act of translation is always an act of betrayal. Oxford, 1836. The city of dreaming spires. It is a centre of all knowledge and progress in the world. Well, actually, it's from this. It sounds quite interesting. Actually, it says the tower from which all power of the empire flows, often in Caton, and brought to England by a mysterious guardian. Robin Swift thought Babel a paradise until it became a prison. But can a student stand against an empire? Ooh, so that does actually sound really quite fascinating, actually. This might get bumped up. So yeah, again, I know that Chloe from Persistent Bookworm, I think, is going to be her favourite book of the year. I'll be really shocked if it's not, but I know she loved this book. So yeah, I'm hoping I do too. So that's another one on the list. And then the final one is I got Keeper of the Lost Cities Stella Luna book in the... Well, I got it today through the post, and I accidentally had a look at the back. I don't know why. Why do we do this to ourselves? Anyway, so I really want to read... I would like to read the whole series this year. Well, yeah, I've already started book 2. So ideally, I would like to finish all of the books this year. But if I could at least get to book 5, I would be really happy. Anyway, guys, that's it from me today. Let me know some books that you plan to read next year. Thank you, guys. Bye.